In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall continue Joshua class number 8. So in our morning class, I show you how the chapter 3, crossing Jordan River, how it was the passage, how you are able to organize the content, able to come up with the structure that give you a very clear view for what was recorded and what had happened. So as in this class, we should continue. For this class, that we will cover chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 4 and 5. Because if you spend the time responsibly as request to fulfill your due diligence, you should have read it already. But did you? Anyway, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand if you read it. I assume that you did. If not, you are at your own discretion. You're on your own. It's your it's just a choice. So chapter 4, if you read, you will find out that the entire chapter 4, it repeated itself. That the only concept in chapter 4 is about God commanded Joshua to tell the people to set up the 12 stones in the Jordan River as a remembrance for the future generation. And the second part of chapter 4 is that Joshua executed according to the command of the Lord and repeat. Basically, one is the instruction followed by the execution, but they are the same content. God said, do this, and then followed by Joshua did this. So basically, it's the realization of the instruction. So chapter 4, the content itself is very much repetitive, repeated. But we still need to, in chapter 4, that they set up 12 stones. Let's read verse 6. In verse 5, let's read verse 5. In verse 5, here says that, where is it? And Joshua said to them, cross again to the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan, and each of you take up a stone on his shoulder according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Israel. This shall be the sign among you when your children ask later, saying, what do these stones mean to you? Then you shall say to them that the water of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it crossed the Jordan, the water of the Jordan were cut off. Okay. So this stone shall become the memorial to the sons of Israel forever. Okay? So as we say in chapter 4, the first main concept is leaving the evidence as the testimony for the future generation. Remember what we said about the 2.5 tribes on the east of Jordan. The 2.5 tribes, the Reubenite, the Gadites, Gadites, and also the half tribe of Manasseh. We talk about that they were out of good intention for the bigger space for us all. It's a win-win situation, perfect calculation, very wise, so smart. But the only thing that they did not calculate is when they were weak, they were not a defensive barrier, so they got wiped out easier. They got wiped out. And the children, the younger generation, they got wiped out apparently because God did not protect them. If they were very faithful, if they were very godly, if they found favor in the eyes of the Lord, then even they were on the east of Jordan, they will only expand. They will be prosper and they will conquer more promised land. More. Remember we said that promised land is way bigger than just the land of Canaan. So the problem is the younger generation or the future generation are no longer found favor in the eyes of the Lord, non-protected by God. So they were wiped out when the enemy showed up. And as we say, when they were the fathers, the warriors, when they were fighting in the land of Canaan along with the other tribes, the younger generation, the children who were left behind, they never get to see the work of the Lord, experience the power of God and the provision. They were missing out on the action, and they were missing out on the opportunity to be part of the history. So then here, when they crossed Jordan River, that God commanded Joshua, Joshua commanded the priests, the tribe of Israel, make sure that you set up a memorial site, so that the future generation who were not there seeing the miracle of God, at least they can ask you. They can ask you, Father, why are there stones in here? What are they for? Then you get the chance to share the power of the Lord. So, you know what, as a parent, you are still too young to talk about this. That you are, at this time, the children. And I do hope that you know why you are in TJC. I believe most of you are not the first generation. Maybe a few, very few. I believe that most of us, you are either the second generation in TJC or even further down. Like for me, I am the fourth generation in TJC. So that make my kids, they are the fifth generation in TJC. So most of you are not the first generation. Your parents, either they are believer or they are truth seekers, but at least they got you to church. You did not come to church on your own. Most of you. But have you ever found out why are you here? What brought them to TJC? You can ask your parents, or maybe you need to ask your grandparents. Okay? That why? What brought our family into TJC? What is the story? What is the testimony? What is that moment of transition or transformation. You need to find out. Maybe that will be your homework, not for NYT, not to be not to be submitted in this NYTS. Maybe you should give yourself a homework. Go and ask, why are you in TJC? Do that homework for yourself, not for me. I know why I'm in TJC. I know why. Oh, that also brought up a big problem. I don't think I say that. I don't think I tell that to my kids. Oh, I have failed. Yeah. You know what? I did a research myself. Because of course, I came from a gigantic TJC family tribe. Yeah. So you know that to the point that I gave up. I gave up on knowing all my cousins. I gave up on that. Yeah, let alone even just my father's side, I was having trouble knowing and meeting all the cousins, let alone my mother's side, because both my parents' side, they are like big TJC family. And then I realized only after marriage that my wife also came from like two giant TJC family. So we are like the combination of my wife and I are probably like one of the bigger, if not the biggest, one of the bigger TJC joint marriage, to the point we both gave up on knowing our relatives. You know what? There was once I was in Taichung. I was with my mother's younger sister, and we were like just walking. Came out from the church, finished service, right? So we were walking, and there was a young man riding the motorcycle, shoo, passing by, and my aunt was like, "Oh, see, your cousin." I was like, that's the first time I met that cousin, and also the last time. Yeah. I was like, my aunt, and that's the thing, that's my father's side cousin, and the aunt is my mother's side. She knew him, I don't. Oh, your cousin. I was like, really? I sold the bag. Yeah, I came from it. Yeah. So, you know that when I was younger, I did take some time to find out. My father also shared with us, and also the testimony of my family, how we came to believe in Jesus, and a lot of miracles and signs that happened in our family, that the big family were also collected in the collection of TJC's testimony booklet. That was I think that was what TJC's 70 years anniversary special edition, something like that. Yeah. You know that I need to. You read Chinese. I can get you the book. You can read it yourself. Okay, read it yourself. Yeah. But you know what? It's very important for you to find out. If you know what? If you never find out about how your family come to be in the Lord, what are you going to say to your future generation? Nothing. If you don't know it, how is it possible for you to share? You can't. And if your children got nothing from you, for sure their children, your grandkids, will know nothing about it. And eventually, when the generation that knew about the work of the Lord pass on, then nobody knows. Then nobody knows. So you should take it upon yourself as your responsibility for the sake of your future children and grandchildren. You need to take it to yourself as your job to find out why are you in TJC. Here says that they made it as a memorial. Okay? They crossed the river, got the amazing things that they were able to walk through the river on the dry ground. So they set up a memorial stone that the future generation, by seeing, they ask, by ask, they learn, by learning, they believe. Then they have the chance to follow the Almighty God. So be very careful. your diligence makes the differences for your future generation. You are doing all this for your future generation. Even in not just about knowing why your family in TJC, including for you to be in here. You choose to come to NYTS. You build yourself up through learning the Bible and many prayers. Okay? You determine to marry in the Lord. All this, you think this is only about yourself? No. No. Every decision, all the major choice that you made today impact your future generation. You have to remember that. You are very fervent and God-loving. Your children learn from you as a good example in their faith. You marry in the Lord and provide a godly environment, a religious value as your children grow up that help them to build their value correctly. So everything that you do is not just about yourself, but you are making an impact as a ripple effect for the many generations to come. Okay? Remember that. So number one, in chapter 4, he only gave one major concept is make sure that you are able to pass down the legend of the work of the Lord. Make sure that you are able to pass down your faith for the future generation. And in chapter 4, there is one more thing that I want you to pay attention. That's in verse 10. In verse 10. In verse 10, it says that, for the priests who carried the ark were standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything was completed, that the Lord had commanded Joshua to speak to the people according to all that Moses has commanded Joshua. And the people hurried and crossed. I want to focus upon the second thing. So in chapter 4, the first thing is the memorial, leaving a memorial stone, passing down the faith. Second thing that we observe, that the people, they hurry to cross the river. Hurry to cross the river. Why is this important? Because this is called a great and very important Christian virtue. It's called considerate. Considerate. Considerate builds upon what? Builds upon understanding. Builds upon having mercy. Builds upon respect other people's labor and effort. Considerate is the root for understanding or humility. You know that I'm not sure. You know that there are some people that they only care about themselves. For example, today you are crossing the intersection. You are crossing the intersection. It's not by traffic light. Let's just for the example, it's not by traffic light. But you know what? In US, that the working people, you have the priority. So usually when you step down to the street, 那个叫什么斑马线the crosswalk. When you step on it, the car need to stop, right? Usually, courteously, we try to do it a bit faster so that the driver were waiting for us, and to show mutual respect, we try to hurry a little bit so that they can pass by as well. That's called respect. And when you do that, that only shows that you are a mature person, show respect and understand the need of others. Okay, they need to go, we are holding up the line, let's hurry up. Usually just like when you are waiting for lunch, like a line up together, that those who are mature, that they will put other people into consideration, and within their power, that they will try to do certain things at the benefit of others. But sometimes on the news, we see that there are people for no reason other than mentally got some underdeveloped, unrepairable issue. It's not about IQ. It's not about intelligence. There are some people who are purposely blocking. Yeah, I'm taking my sweet time. I go backwards. I am coming again. I'm not letting you through. And then it gets on the news when this is how the road rage begins. Then you have the driver with a shaking hand after waiting for 15 minutes, seeing you jumping back and forth, dancing to show, I am not letting you through. After 15 minutes, he stepped on the gas and go all the way. A lot of times, those terrible things that happen for a reason. You feel that you can get away with it. Oh, you are in here, so you are cut off from the information outside. Good for you. Let me let you into something. Recently, in these few days, there was a Italian group, young Italian group, tourists, that they went to Thailand, and then they made, when they were on the train, on the subway, on the train, cable car, they were like laughing, just like a lot of noise. And then one of the Thailand girl, just say to one of the I think she's probably like, I don't know how old is she, like maybe like close to like 20 up and down. She said to them in English that please just control your voice, like lower your voice. And they totally humiliated her. It was all recorded, that they were like pulling their eyes, like the slant eyes. They were like doing a lot of the discriminative action, that they will make fun. And they were like, oh yeah, we bring money to your country. Like you are nothing. We are the rich. Yeah. It was all recorded. Just for your information, if you ever visit Thailand, be very careful. They are very different. Thailand people are extremely gentle, but like a walking bomb. They are very good. They are extremely polite, extremely nice, as long as you don't step on their nerve, and then they just blow up. So when the video were put on internet, it went viral because one of the Italian boy also gave the girl the middle finger, like everything, and they were making fun of it, like you poor Thailand people, we give you the money, like all those kind of thing. You have to remember you have to know one thing. In the entire history of those South Pacific Asian countries, Thailand was the only one who were never colonized. You know that most of the country were colonized by the Western power. Thailand were the only one who never subdued to the Western power during the great colonization era. So Thailand people never see the Western as any superior. No, they never. So they have no problem not only tell you to shut up, they have no problem to find out who you are, they have no problem to enter into the hotel and pull you out of it. And the thing, they are extremely gentle, polite, kind, warm, welcoming until you did something that offend them. So when the video went out, in that evening, only a few hours later, hundreds of Thai citizens, people, concerning citizens, they surrounded the hotel. They don't burn the hotel. They were just standing there and wait for the Italian tour to come out. Western young people, you think you can do anything? Yeah, be very careful. You go to Singapore, yeah, and you know what? Those are permanent. It never come off. It's permanent. Yeah, we wish we can do that in. No. Yeah. You know that this is a very important virtue. You know that the priests will carry the heavy load of the ark. They have been standing inside the muddy river ground, and probably they are tired. They are exhausted. You know, after all this, stepping in the water with a lot of nerve-wracking, they were nervous. So now they were tired, they were exhausted, they were in the river. So the people of Israel did not take their sweet time. Oh, I do things in my pace. What you going to do about it? That kind of mentality is very low. Let me just give you that. I look down on people with that kind of mentality. What you going to do about it? You know that only leads you to a very low. Your low mentality bring you very low. It's not about maybe you will be you came from a very wealthy family. Maybe you will make a lot of money. That doesn't change the fact you are a low person. Low person. A high person. It's not about your achievement or your education or your social success. A high person always think a bit more about others. That's a high person. So at this time, they demonstrate. Even they were not the one in the low, tired. Oh, yeah, go on. Like going around the priest. Oh, you don't look so good. Oh, are you about to give up? Yeah. You know that's how people get beat up. Yeah, like I believe that you saw some of those videos that they have like those street performers that they do not move, right? It's not easy dressing and with all the pain. For them, that's a way of art or a way of livelihood. You know, when I saw that, I respect anyone who work hard trying to make a living. I respect that. I think that deserves respect and honor. So when I see that, maybe I would, maybe I won't give them money, but I will surely respect them. I'm just a cheapo. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay? But it never changed the fact I do respect people who work hard with their hand, with what they can to provide the bread for the family. I think that's called man. Woman. Sorry. Woman. Yeah. But you know that on the video you see some just, I don't know, like cuckoo people. They like to, you cannot move. Pinch your nose, pull your ear. You know that you probably also saw the video that when it went too much, that the guy just knocked the person down. You asked for it, no sympathy for you. Okay, you can sue the guy, but we still have no sympathy for you because you are just a low person. Low. So please, young people, don't allow yourself to be low. This is not even about faith. It's not about religion. It's about being a human being. So you see, they show consideration. The priest is tired. They are doing this for us. Hurry up. What is the delay? You tired? Let me carry you. You too slow? I help you push. You know what? They hurry to cross the river. That's high. That's high. Right? So remember, God built us to be the high person. The church train you to be a high person. Your parents expect you to be high person. People with high IQ have mercy, know how to be considerate. You are a good human being. So that's chapter 4. And in chapter 5, there are also a little bit I want to touch upon. Chapter 5, let's turn to. In chapter 5, now let's turn to verse 2. Verse 2. Verse 2, at that time, the Lord said to Joshua, make for yourself flint knives and circumcise again the sons of Israel the second time. So Joshua made himself the flint knife and circumcised the son of Israel at Gibeath Haralath. Okay, this is the reason why Joshua circumcised them. All the people who came out of Egypt who were male, all the men of war died in the wilderness along the way after they came out of Egypt. For all the people who came out were circumcised, but all the people who were born in the wilderness along the way as they came out of Egypt had not been. So in chapter 5, because in chapter 5, now they crossed Jordan River, which they were about to begin the warfare against Jericho, against the city of Ai, against all the inhabitants of the Canaanite, the land of Canaan. So before the war, everything began with circumcision, that covenant. Circumcision itself, the purpose is to perform by engage in a new covenant with God. From the time of Abraham, now circumcision is the sign that you are different, you are special, you are the children of God and you belong to Him. Circumcision is a sign of differentiate. Okay, so before it says that the Bible say that what we just read, that God wait until that generation that came out of Egypt, though that they were circumcised, but God wait until they all die, perished in the wilderness. Right? God wait so long for that generation to die, to perish in the wilderness. And that's what that 38 years is about. That 38 years. You know that 30 years of circling, 30 years of wandering, 38 years of wandering for only one purpose. There's only one purpose. Purging. Purging. That's it. If you want one word, it's purging. Purging means annihilate, eliminate. So God, can you imagine? God rather wait 38 years, such a long time, so that they would die. Purging. Why? Because though that they received the circumcision in Egypt when they came out, right? That generation, they came out, before they came out, they received circumcision, right? So that generation, they received circumcision of the physical body, but they never received the transformation of the heart, circumcision of the heart. So though that they were out of Egypt, but their heart were still enslaved by Egyptians. Their mind still dwell upon the culture of slavery. So God did not want them. God did not want them. Physical circumcision, lacking of transformation of the heart, and the renewal of the mind, you are still in Egypt. Even physically, you are out. So what is circumcision? Today is called the water baptism. Most of you, if not all of you, are baptized. Okay? So now you receive the spiritual circumcision, the water baptism, or should we say physical water baptism, that resemblance, that prefigurate the circumcision, that call you, make you the children of God. Okay? Easy, right? Concept is very easy. Okay? But the problem is, you have to remember, here says, the Lord say again. Again. Again is a very scary word. Again. What does it mean? It means that the first batch, the first group, the first batch has been tossed to the garbage can. Do not think that God owe you anything. Because for the people that came out of the land of Egypt, 600,000 men, only 2, Joshua and Caleb, were allowed to enter into the promised land. Only 2. Look at the ratio. You know what? Sometimes we feel, but we have so many people. It makes no differences to God. It makes no differences. God look at everyone individually. There is no so-called majority rules in the kingdom of God. So today in our society, if you have a lot of people, huge amount of people to do one thing, even it's wrong, the government need to let you go because there are just too many people. Right? Something illegal. You know what? Run the red light, is that wrong? Yeah, run the red light is wrong, right? You get caught, you get fined, all right? You get points, all right? Run the red light is wrong, but when 2 million vehicles run through the same red light at the same time, the government cannot do anything. They can't. They have to pretend, oh, no, didn't see it. Oh, the light broke. It must be the light. They need to justify that because majority rules. When the number, the crowd, the mob is too big, then in the human society, you win. Alright, you win. Not in the kingdom of God. God doesn't care. It can be 1 person, 1 million, 1 billion. The rule is the rule. It makes no differences. So 600,000 men who were able to fight, only 2 were allowed to enter. And God has purposely, intentionally wait until the last one die before God say, hey, younger generation, let's do it again. There are 3 possibilities for every one of us. 3 possibilities. The first possibility, you are one of the people who perish in the wilderness. Second possibility, you are Joshua or Caleb. Third possibility, you are the younger generation who are giving the second chance again, and this time they went into Canaan. Only these 3 possibilities. There's nothing else. Nothing else. But which one would you be? God wait 38 years, wouldn't cut slack, wouldn't give them any way out, no shortcut, no compromise. God rather wait 38 years until the very last one died before they get to begin a new journey. But in you and I, remember, this is called purging. To get rid of the iniquity, to get of the little faith, to get rid of our distrust, okay, and sin. Purging, circumcision, new covenant, new beginning, new promise, and a new journey. That's what God wants us to have. So here, number 1, in chapter 5, that we found that they did the circumcision and the Bible says that roll away the shame of Egypt, because when they were in the wilderness for that 40 years, nobody received circumcision. Nobody. Yeah, because the law was waiting for that generation to pass. So there were no one received the circumcision until in this time, when they crossed Jordan, before they began the warfare, the Lord said there's one thing more important than fighting, which is remark, to mark who you belong. In the past, that though that this generation were born outside of the Egypt, they were born outside of the Egypt, but they were sealed, imprinted, sealed, the children of the slave. They were being putting on the mark of the slave of Egypt. They belong to, just like that you see the farms, the ranch, that they will use the iron to seal the animal, so that by the seal that who do they belong to. In Revelation, he also said that you and I, we have a seal on our forehead. Some people were sealed with 666. That means that you belong to the world. You belong to 6. You belong to the Satan. 666 is known as the number of the man, number of the world. Some people are sealed with 666. No, the Bible never say about you are sealed with 777. Okay, there's not 666 is the number of the secular world. You are sealed with the Spirit of God, the seal of the Holy Spirit. So we are carrying. So for them, this is the historical moment that they are giving a new seal by having the circumcision. It hurts. Okay, it hurts according to the Bible. It hurts. It takes time to heal. Okay. But by doing that, going through the process, it gives you a new title, a new status. Now, through the circumcision, the Bible says that you roll away the shame of Egypt. That you used to be known as the slave of Egypt. Live like a slave, die like a slave. Now no more. By having the circumcision, now you are known as the people of the mighty God, the mighty army of the Lord. That's a new status. The new status. So make sure that we are able to acquire the new status. Okay, our time is up. Before we kneel down and pray, in chapter 5, it says that in verse 12. And that manna ceased on the day. Okay? When you form the covenant, no more manna. What does that mean? You want to do homework? When you, through circumcision, you are giving a new honorable status. You are the children of God. Now you belong to Him. Manna no more. You used to follow God for grace, for mercy, for blessing, for material, for this and for that. But today, you are His children. Even no longer physical provision, but you still continue to follow Him. It ceased because you are not babies anymore. When you were a baby, you rely on manna to survive. Now you are grown up. You can till the land that God grant to you and provide for yourself. Okay, let's all kneel down and pray.